right, this is a story. I read this in several places, and it's about a young boy called Chaim Solominsk. Chaim Solominsk. And Chaim Solominsk was the son of a Holocaust survivor. The Lubavitcher Rebbe took over being the Rebbe of Chabad in 1950, which that's like fresh after the Holocaust, 5 years after the Holocaust. So he had to deal with all these Holocaust survivors that they were all, they had seen things which, if people see like, a squirrel get running over in the street, they're in a trauma. They have to go to a psychiatrist. And these people saw thousands of people getting killed, with babies, with women, the children. And somehow they lived, they weren't given to eat for years. And they lost their families, they lost everything. So the Rebbe, he inherited all these people, all these Holocaust survivors. So there was one person like this, a Holocaust survivor, and he moved to America and he had a son, he had a child, or maybe he escaped from wherever it was with his son. And so it was in America. So his son grew up, and his son was, a nice boy, a clever boy, but he was, as far as Torah and commandments goes, he was a dunce. He was just a total, how do you say, rockhead. Nothing went in, didn't understand anything. The most boring thing to him was sitting in classes, in Hebrew classes, but terrible. And so, so his father sat with him and he prepared his teacher once. Now, there's different versions of the story, but this is the version that I read. He was such a, how do you say, he made trouble in school, so his teacher forced him once to learn a Mishna. He had to learn this Mishna by heart. And the teacher tested him on it, and he tested him over and over until he learned this Mishna. Another version is that his father said that he should sit and learn some Gemara to prepare. For what? It was going to take him into the Lubavitcher Rebbe to get a blessing. So at first, the boy didn't understand what was going on, and he told his friends in school that his father was taking him into the Lubavitcher Rebbe to get a blessing before his bar mitzvah. The boy was 12 years old. So his friend said, whoa, now you're in trouble. He said, why? What's wrong? My father's really happy. He said, no, the Rebbe's going to ask you a question in the Torah, in learning Torah. And you have to tell him some sort of a Devar Torah, some small thing about Torah. And you don't know anything about Torah. You're always, your mind is always wandering, always getting punished. The teacher's always yelling at you. You're always absent from class. So the boy didn't know exactly what to do. So he, was really very worried, and he didn't have time to prepare. And even if he could, he didn't know how to prepare. So his father took him into the Rebbe, and he couldn't get out of it. His father was so proud, and he was so ashamed. He knew he was going to be. So he was trying to figure out how maybe when the Rebbe asked him to say some words of Torah, he'll just sort of mumble something, and then the Rebbe will realize, and he'll pass over. So his father took him in. His father was all dressed up nice. He dressed up his son nice. They went to the Lubavitcher Rebbe. And, Rebbe, it was a miracle. His father still remained religious, after the Holocaust. He took him in, and he was standing proudly. And the Rebbe said, asked him, do you enjoy school? This, and he said whatever answers. He said, it says in the Mishnah, the Rebbe said, it says in the Mishnah, such and such. Can you explain this to me? And the Rebbe asked him exactly on that one Mishnah that he had learned as a punishment. Somehow or other, the Rebbe knew that this was the only Mishnah that he knew. And he asked him exactly that question. Oh, the boy he answered exactly right. His father, if he had been standing up before, he was standing up even more straight. Tears were coming from his eyes. My son answered properly. The Rebbe gave him a big blessing, and they went out. They went outside, and his father hugged his son. You're wonderful. You're so great. The son, he didn't know how big of a dunce his son was. His son kept it from him. The boy told the story years later that this is what kept him in Judaism, and what made him so to see that Judaism is a good thing, and it's a positive thing, and also to see that the Rebbe recognized it. It was recognizable in him that he knew a little bit of Torah. He knew that part of Torah, that the Torah was something good, and that it was a thing that made everybody happy. And so the Torah was the same. That's the idea that we said, that every Jew has a little Mashiach inside of him. And the job of the Rebbe the Melech HaMashiach is to bring this little Mashiach out. And this is his connection to the Torah. Soon the whole world will be influenced by the holiness of the Torah. It'll be an orderly place, a blessed place, a happy place, a healthy place. We just have to do everything we can to bring Mashiach now. Have a good day. Have a good Shabbos, everyone. Sunday we meet again, 8 o'clock in the morning, Israeli time. Shalom uvracha.